You've heard of Egypt, Rome, maybe even Mesopotamia. But what about the ancient civilizations no one talks about? The ones hidden beneath the sand, swallowed by time, yet once stood as powerful, intelligent, and advanced. Today, we're diving into ancient worlds you've probably never heard of, civilizations lost to history but once thriving in brilliance. Number 1. The Kingdom of Aksum, the Empire. Beneath the crossroads. Long before modern Ethiopia, there was Aksum, an empire that rivaled Rome in trade, architecture, and innovation. Located in the Horn of Africa, the Kingdom of Aksum flourished from 100 AD to around 940 AD. They had their own written language, Ge'ez, minted their own coins, and even built massive stone obelisks, some weighing over 500 tons. Historians believe Aksum was the first African empire to officially adopt Christianity, even before Rome did. But what really set them apart? Their dominance in global trade. Aksum's strategic location near the Red Sea made it a powerful port, linking Africa, the Middle East, and India. They traded ivory, gold, spices, and knowledge. Even the Roman Empire acknowledged them as one of the world's greatest powers. So, why don't we learn about them in school? Colonial narratives erased much of Africa's ancient glory. But Aksum is still there, its ruins whispering the story of a forgotten superpower. Number 2. The Sogdian Empire. Masters of the Silk Road between ancient China and Persia once lay the land of the Sogdians. Never heard of them? You're not alone. But without the Sogdians, the Silk Road may have never flourished. The Sogdians weren't conquerors, they were connectors. They didn't build giant pyramids or palaces. They built relationships, moving ideas, goods, religions, and languages across continents. Their capital, Samarkand, became a cultural hotspot where East met West in the form of fabrics, spices, art, and stories. They spoke multiple languages, wrote in the Sogdian script, and spread Buddhism, Zoroastrianism, and even Nestorian Christianity into China. So, what happened? The rise of the Islamic caliphates and Mongol invasions eventually absorbed and erased Sogdian influence. Today, very few people even know the word Sogdian, but their fingerprints are all over ancient Asia. Number 3. The Indus Valley Civilization, the mystery of Mohenjo-Daro. Now let's go back even further to 3300 BC. Before the pyramids, before Athens, before China's first dynasty, there was the Indus Valley Civilization. Located in what is now Pakistan and northwest India, the Indus people built sprawling cities with plumbing, public baths, sewage systems, and grid-patterned streets. Yes, more than 5,000 years ago they had functioning toilets. Their cities, like Mohenjo-Daro and Harappa, show signs of advanced urban planning. But here's the kicker. We still can't read their writing. They left behind thousands of symbols carved into seals and artifacts, but to this day, no one has cracked their code. And unlike other ancient societies, there's no evidence of kings, wars, or massive monuments. It's as if they lived in peaceful, decentralized cities for over 1,000 years, and then suddenly disappeared. Some blame climate change. Others suggest tectonic shifts. But the real cause? Still unknown. The Indus Valley remains one of the greatest unsolved mysteries in archaeology. Number 4. The Norte Chico Civilization, America's forgotten builders. We often think of the Maya or Inca when we talk about ancient Americas. But before both, around 3000 BC, there was Norte Chico. In present-day Peru, the Norte Chico people built over 25 massive ceremonial centers and pyramids, including Corral, considered the oldest city in the Americas. What's wild is they did this without pottery, without written language, and with almost no signs of warfare. Instead of writing, they may have used a system of knotted strings known as quipu to record information, centuries before the Inca used it. Their society was peaceful, communal, and obsessed with astronomical alignments. Some of their architecture lines up perfectly with the stars. Yet despite being one of the earliest civilizations in the world, they're barely mentioned in history books. Number 5. The Kingdom of Kush, Egypt's shadow empire. South of ancient Egypt in modern-day Sudan was the Kingdom of Kush. For centuries, they were seen as Egypt's little brother. But that's not quite true. The Kushites had their own pyramids, over 200 of them. They had their own writing system, their own gods, and even ruled Egypt as pharaohs for nearly 100 years. They were fierce warriors, brilliant architects, and devout spiritualists. Their capital, Meroe, became a center for iron production and trade. So why aren't they as famous as Egypt? Much of their legacy was destroyed or buried beneath the desert. And again, colonial archaeologists often downplayed or ignored African civilizations. But recent discoveries are rewriting that narrative, and Kush is rising from the sand once more. These civilizations may be forgotten in classrooms, but their achievements are carved in stone, in trade routes, in silent cities buried beneath time. They remind us that history is bigger than what we're taught, and that sometimes the greatest stories are the ones that were almost erased. Which one surprised you the most? Let us know in the comments and subscribe if you're curious about the hidden corners of history. More Forgotten Worlds coming soon.